Well, hey guys, welcome back to Speed Trends Racing. So, dude, I am really at a loss for words. So, there's 19 days before going to PFISpeedFest, which is like the goal, right? Like recently, I want to go there, and it's gonna be so super rad because I got the hatch, right? Take the trans out, take the fuel injectors out, get those both rebuilt, put it back in. We're ready to go. Already got the van going, right? Which is like, okay, I mean, after that, I just need a trailer, and then I'm off to go racing, right? So I didn't film this, but you guys can just trust me. I really want to take this van, but if you guys don't recall, it's got 305,000 miles on it, right? And so I had the doghouse out, and then I was looking through the valve train, and and for one, I mean, dude, taking a valve cover off of a van is just, it's hard, dude. I had to move the AC brackets and the, what is it called? The alternator bracket. I had to move it up and almost out of the way to get the valve cover up. Finally got it out after like an hour and a half. And I looked at the valve train and it looked, I mean, pretty much, it looked like my C30 over here. I wonder why it has a tire off. That's strange. So it looked pretty much like this, right? But bone dry. Like it had almost no oil, which on a cylinder head on a small block, there's these holes right here where it returns back to the oil pan. And I have just a little bit right there. But this has been sitting a while. But dude, I started it up with the valve cover off to see if because I was doing valve train maintenance on this. I was going to adjust the rockers and stuff. And like two or three of them were like really, really loose. And this thing only has like 40 pounds of pressure and then drops down to 10 psi at idle. And dude, okay, so it's one thing to like put that thing around. It's a small block. It probably live forever, right? And just like, if you hear valves ticking or whatever, like just run until it blows up or something like that, right? Well, that's not the strat when you're trying to pull, a 22-foot trailer. And then, I mean, my hatch doesn't weigh that much. It weighs like 2,000 pounds, right? But dude, going, 18 hours straight, just stopping at a gas station, filling up, and then going. Like I've done that, but this van, I just don't see it in the cards. But I have a dream. And hopefully you guys are dreamers because so this, of course, you guys know this is my 1972 Chevy C30. And I realistically could probably, I mean, dude, like check this out. You guys know my shop. I got the hatch right here. Tons of room to pull a transmission and injectors out. Realistically, that's going to take what, 3 hours? Injectors, 10 minutes. Transmission, jack it up, maybe invite a couple friends over, right? Transmission out in like a couple hours. So this thing, on the other hand, the brakes, let me see, where is my flashlight? There it is. The brakes are trashed. I'm talking, dude, metal to metal. Bad, right? So I've been doing a ton of research on these 72s. So in 1973 is when they came out with the next generation of C and K trucks, which is the square body, right? So on these trucks, they're pretty interchangeable. You can swap out, in theory, that's at least what the forums say. You can swap out the spindle for a square body, like 3/4 ton or a full ton spindle, and then use all the brakes and the upper and lower control arms will bolt in. The steering rods will bolt in, and like the shocks will bolt in. You only have to mess with, in theory, for finger quotes, I could literally go get a spindle, a rotor, a caliper, a pair of shocks, bearings, and dude, this whole side would be done. And then like I would have to worry about some brake plumbing, but dude, this stuff is so simple. Like in theory, right? And I'm talking, we're dreaming, right? Because then not on top of that, I would have to at least do the rear brakes because on the trailer I'm using, there's not going to be any trailer hookups like for trailer brakes. So I'm going to have to get these ones going. I've never even had the drum off of this one. But if it was as simple as like doing shoes and doing a wheel cylinder, then I mean, that's very easy too, but it's just a lot of time consuming stuff. And then like on the interior, like I already know because I've driven it only 20 miles, but every time I've driven it, speedometer works, fuel gauge works. I mean, and dude, can you guys imagine how many? So it's like 1,300 miles. So Nashville, Tennessee, Colorado, Pueblo, right? is an 18-hour drive. It's like 1,300 miles in a 72, arm out the window, no radio, like just windows. Dude, that is the ultimate road trip, dude. Just driving your truck and just, and then, dude, I haven't even thought about until just now. The rear end in this thing is like a 412 rear gear, and this has a turbo 400. So I'm only going to be doing like 60 miles an hour. But I mean, can you guys not see how genuinely I'm excited about this? Because realistically, I got 19 days. That would be getting this truck done, getting this hatch done. And I mean, that's it. Like, rebuild a transmission, do some fuel injectors, fix some brakes, possibly have the engine out and rebuild the bottom end because the heads are good. Transmission's ready to go. Do some U joints on the drive shaft, rebuild the brakes on the back to do the, I mean, even the tires, dude. I totally even forgot about these tires. These are like in pretty good shape, dude. They're only like 7 years old. Like, I gotta do it. You know, it's gonna be so much fun. And then realistically, if it just comes down to it, and I'm like the night before I need to start driving, and I still have like the engine out of this thing, then I just won't go. And then I'll just go to Music City Raceway, which is my local track, or Beach Bend, and run an 1/8 mile and a 1/4 mile, which is still getting this thing going. I mean, it just would be so cool, dude. So cool. Literally, I don't know anybody else that's going to be pulling up in a 1972 Chevy C30 complete farm truck in Colorado. That's one thing. People are going to be like, what in the world is this thing? And then, bam, the hatch. Oh, come on. Like, that's just going to be so cool. And man, I am making this video strictly for just, I want you guys to pump me up, man. You guys are always pumping me up with comments and likes and all that stuff and everything. And like, this is no like plug to make my channel bigger or anything like that. Because I'm going to be hanging out with those dudes. We're all going to have cameras and everything like that. And they're my acquaintance car buddies. It's going to be cool. Jamie and Brent and Goofy Built Shane. And I can't wait to meet Mario. He is a character. And like, it's just going to be a good time, guys. And so, dude, this is the video. And I will see you guys really soon. I promise.